No, it's fine. Nobody's gonna know that I'm not wearing pants. Jeez. It's seriously, it's okay. Hey, what's up? It's the Huff. It's another episode of the Huff Uncensored. Hope you're having a great day. Listen, I'm feeling good. A lot to get into. Make sure you hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening. Also, don't forget today's show is presented to you by the great people over at Sugar Fire in Westminster, as well as Jad's Mile High Smoke, and of course, Bet Online. Bet Online is your number one source for the NBA and NHL playoffs this season. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds while the games are being played. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on the game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 game slots. That's awesome. Head to betonline.ag today and get in on all the action. Don't forget to use the promo code BLEAV. That's BLEAV for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. It's Bet Online where the game starts. You know what we need to do? Speaking of the game starting here, let's join in on the headlines. Join in. Let's jump in on the headlines.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
Beep boop pop. I screwed that up. Ah, it's fine. It's fine. This is bizarre. I feel like I say that every day. There's something that just blindsides me of just the society that we're in. It's just there's a lot of weird people. Don't get you. Don't get you. This is on the verge of on the verge of he's not hurting anybody, but then in a sense he is, and I'll explain more in a second. Here's the article that I'm reading. The incident took place on May 18th at a Hyundai department store in South Korea. According to the victim's husband, his wife witnessed a man kissing and touching her car, which was a pink Tesla. She had that pink wrap on it. Looks really nice, I gotta be honest. And the guy was kissing and touching it for 3 hours. 3 hours before fleeing when she approached to get in her vehicle. By the way, I posted this on X yesterday, and Mike chimed in, the old banana in the tailpipe. But instead of banana, it may have been his wiener. This is what the husband said. This guy kissed my wife's car and fingered it for 3 hours, then ran off only when his wife approached to get in the car. That's the thing. 3 hours. First of all, congratulations on the stamina, buddy. That's a lot of commitment. Ladies, I'm guessing he's available. That's a lot of commitment to, one thing. The disturbing incident follows a similar one that occurred just weeks earlier in late March. In that case, a different man was observed engaging in sexual activity with a white Audi car. Recorded footage exposed the man on top of the car's hood, rubbing himself against it before doing the same to the car's front fender. I laugh. It's one thing, I guess, if you do this to your own car, but this is somebody else's vehicle. And I got to be honest, do you sell it after that? I kind of feel like it would be hard to, no pun intended, to continue with that car. Like, you see where he was doing most of his work. Let's say it's on the driver's side or something. Every time you got in the car, you're going to be having those flashes of that dude, taking his time with your pink lady car. My goodness. And then the other guy just essentially, they showed a picture of it. The dude was on the hood, like dry humping it. Listen, guys, I get it. You're horny. You're horny. Just go to a website, crank one out, and then you'll be good, okay? Fire off some knuckle children and call it a day. right? Then go to Taco Bell, eat some burritos. I don't know, whatever floats your boat. But don't be going fondling other people's cars. I don't even know what I would do if I saw that. Do you let them finish? I don't know. I don't know. But it reminded me of a car commercial that I actually wrote not too long ago, and I actually voiced it. It was kind of nice. They ended up not going with this car, but listen, it was locked and loaded and ready to go. I'll just play the voiceover for you. Whether you prefer holes or poles, the Hyundai Whore is the vehicle that can take you to point G in luxury. With easy cleanup faux leather seats, attachable phallus on the center console and sunroof, and fleshlight inspired steering wheel, the Hyundai Whore makes road trips orgasmic. With subpar handling and unreliable braking, the Hyundai Whore will get your heart racing. Sorry. And what better way to calm your nerves than diddling a 3,000-pound whore? See your dealer about the limited time Hyundai Whore Sex Dungeon Trailer Edition, fully equipped with Sex Swing. Hyundai, your whore is awaiting. I screwed it up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But you get the point. You get the point. I guess I could have read that faster. It meant maybe funner. Funnier. Whether you prefer holes or poles, the Hyundai Whore is the vehicle that can take you to point G in luxury. With easy cleanup faux leather seats, attachable phallus on the center console and sunroof, and flashlight inspired steering wheel. The Hyundai Whore makes road trips orgasmic. Oh, yeah. With subpar handling and unreliable braking. The Hyundai Whore will get your heart racing. Oh, yeah. And what better way to calm your nerves than diddling a 3,000-pound whore? See your dealer about limited time Hyundai Whore Sex Dungeon Trailer Edition, fully equipped with Sex Swing. Hyundai, your whore is awaiting. I like the second version better. I do. I do. I'm glad my wife didn't walk down here when I was doing that. She'd be like, oh my God, we need to talk. That's a great idea. Can't believe you came up with that. $1 million idea. Hell, $1 billion idea. That's kind of a ripoff of SNL did a bit on the Mercury Mistress. And I think it was Chris Parnell was the main actor in the fake commercial that they did, and they called it the Mercury Mistress, and like he almost hits a squirrel, and behind the back, I think it was the license plate in the back, they had like a fake vagina, but they bleeped it out, or it was just a hole, right? But they bleeped it out, blurred it out. And so, like, he almost hits a squirrel, and then you see the wicked eyes on him, and then he runs out in the back of the car and pulls down his pants and starts banging his car. Anyway, as much as we joke about it, somebody out there has probably modified their vehicle to have one of these. Listen, I drive a Honda Accord. Don't think I'd have sex with it, but I'm not saying no. What would have been funnier is like when I say the thing about the fleshlight inspired steering wheel. If you have this like beep 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 beep, because some guys like banging it. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, hey, I got an update on some stories we've done in the past. You guys probably remember that lady. Her name was Brocardi, I think it was. She's like 40 years old. She became internet famous for marrying a Victorian soldier named Edwardo, who happened to be a ghost. And then she decided to split up with him when she accused him of cheating and stalking her. Well, he's a ghost, okay? Anyway, classic Eduardo. Can't keep it in his pants. So ridiculous. So ridiculous. By the way, she's a singer-songwriter. Somebody desperate for attention and get some downloads. Anyway, she was in Nevada at that clown motel. I think we talked about that before, that it's like a creepy clown motel. Anyway, she spent the night there, and then she found this doll that she claims is possessed, and then now she adopted it, AKA bought it. I mean, I could say I bought, anything. I got this Wolverine action figure. I adopted it. He's so adorable, but I saved him is what some people say, but I like to say he saved me. Right? So dumb. But she bought this doll. She claims it's possessed. And now, all the turmoil that's going through her life is now Eduardo, who's still hanging around, jerk, is now jealous. He's peanut butter and jealous of this doll that's possessed. So annoying, but funny. And I would love to have a conversation with this lady. Don't you think? It would be one of those things where you would probably ask one or two questions and then you just let her go, right? It would just be like fascinating. I wouldn't want to be a dick to her. I'd be a dick to her behind her back, like a real gentleman, right? Laugh behind their backs. But it would be fascinating. It would be interesting to observe how she projected her life. I would be interested in that, and just to look at her face, her eyes, and just see how much does she truly believe what she's saying. I think it would be fascinating. It's a little troubling because obviously there's a couple ways you can look at this. It would be troubling because you would say maybe she's most likely experiencing some sort of mental delusion, and it's being encouraged. The fan is being flamed by individuals like myself and news agencies that are writing articles about it and talking about it in some fashion. But then you also got to go, okay, but what if? What is? What if? There's that little glimmer of, yeah, but what if it's true? I don't think it's true. I don't think she's really, a divorcee of a Victorian ghost. I don't. But there is that glimmer of, well, maybe. I guess. It goes back to like when we were talking to Schlereth the other day, and like you're talking about ghosts. Like I wanna believe. I do so desperately wanna believe. But then it's like, ugh. You got stuff like this, and it's like, this is a little far fetched, little far fetched. Fucking Eduardo, okay, dick. It's just so odd. Uh, this is making the rounds. We kind of talked about this documentary. I want to say like a month ago, because remember when I talked to you about there's that Hack Your Health: The Secrets of Your Gut documentary on Netflix. Good. I suggest you watch it. It's very interesting. But there was a point where somebody put a, a, a turd in a blender, and that's what the lady is doing her. I can't remember what it's called, but she's basically doing a fecal transplant with her boyfriend. She tried it with her brother, but what happened was you take on a lot of the gut health, the health of the individual that you're doing the fecal transfer from. And like she broke out in zits, and she got I believe it might have been her brother. One of them has like some depression, so she started feeling depressed. Not because she's ingesting somebody's fecal matter. It's because she's taking on the gut health of that individual. Your gut is scientifically proven to be very very well connected with your brain. So you got a happy gut, you got a happy mind. So it's fascinating. Well, the reason I brought this up, and by the way, it's not like she was drinking it. She was like sticking it. She'd have her boyfriend get a good, healthy, hefty log, stick it in a Tupperware, stick it in the fridge. I think it was the freezer. That way it firms up. Then she stick it in a specifically designated poop blender, and then she'd stick it in, like, these capsules, right? And she would do that, and then she would take it in pill form. Anyway, in that same documentary, they were talking again, this came out back in, I wanna say, March. They were talking to competitive eating legend Kobayashi. Now it's Joey Chestnut, but for the longest time, it was Kobayashi. He was this, skinny, I wanna say he's South Korean, man who just would he was skinny but buff, and he would win all these competitions. But when you watch the documentary, again, he talked about this a couple months ago in the documentary that he was gonna retire, or he did retire from eating, but it's just now hitting the news cycle, that he had to retire because he doesn't feel hungry anymore, just in general. He doesn't know if he's full or not. He doesn't know if he needs to eat food. He has damaged his body so much by competitive eating that it's ruining his life. But the nice thing that you see in that documentary is that he's going to counseling. He's going and trying to fix what he's damaged. But it's another example of doesn't matter what you do when you put your heart and soul and you go completely all in, put all the chips in on whether it's a sport of any kind, that there are going to be some consequences. You think of football, basketball, hockey, all these different sports, and you see guys. Me working in sports talk radio for so long, for almost 20 years. When I'm around individuals like, say, John Elway, Mark Schlereth, and all these other great people, Terrell Davis, you see them and now with advances in technology, they're a little bit better than they were, but, like, when I first would meet a lot of these guys, you could see the game has beat them silly. Like, as their legs, their knees, their shoulders, everything is just jacked up. And there are gonna be consequences when you go all in on that. So it's sad, but it's also again, it's worth watching Hack Your Health: The Secrets of Your Gut, because it's just fascinating. It's fascinating, but you see Kobayashi in the whirlwind of emotions that he goes through because as something as simple as feeling hungry, he doesn't feel it anymore. It is essentially numb. He ate himself numb, and it's wild. It's wild, but it's sad, but it's definitely worth your time. Now, a non-joking transition. If you are feeling hungry, go to Sugar Fire in Westminster. Amazing place to grab some barbecue. They're off 144th and Orchard Parkway, right next to Snooze. Follow them on social media on Instagram and Facebook at Sugar Fire Westy. They are amazing. I love their brisket. I love their smoked turkey. I love their burgers. I love everything that is Sugar Fire in Westminster. It's so good. So many people I run into, they're like, dude, I tried Sugar Fire because you talk about them all the time. There was a guy named Doug, and he's just like, dude, that was so freaking good. And I guess what he did was him and his wife bought two different things, and then they just kind of shared. And so that way she could try he had one of the burgers, I don't remember what it was, and then she got something else, and they just swapped, and they're just like, trying to it was like a family style type of thing that they just did on the fly. And it's so good. Doesn't matter what you get there, it's gonna be great. And speaking of great food, they cater. So maybe you got a graduation party, maybe you got a birthday, a wedding, a big meeting. Either way, Sugar Fire is able to cater it for you, and they're going to knock it out of the park. Sugar Fire is by far my favorite barbecue joint in the state of Colorado. Nothing comes close. It's family friendly and it's great for date night. It's a very good place to go. Check out Sugar Fire in Westminster off 144th and Orchard Parkway, just east of Huron on the south side of 144th. Like I said, right next to Snooze. Follow them on social media at Sugarfire Westy. Go to their website, sugarfiresmokehouse.com. It's Sugarfire in Westminster, reinventing barbecue every single day. Maybe you just want to get your head right. What better way to get your head right than going to Jad's Mile High Smoke? It's the first and only licensed canna bar in the state of Colorado. It works like an alcohol bar, but it's for cannabis. You got to go buy it. It's so nice. You can purchase up to an ounce of flour or 8 grams of concentrate. They got pre-rolls, they got edibles, and they provide everything you need to consume it with. Jad's has 7 big screen TVs to catch your favorite sporting event or host a watch party. They got Nintendo Switches to rent. I want to say that it's like $5. That's it. I mean, how cool is that? You could just sit down, smoke a J, play some, Nintendo Switch. Oh my God, it's awesome. They also have quarter arcade over there, so you can do pinball machines, vintage Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and more. It's such a great place to just go hang out and unwind. And you don't have the hangover the next day. So it's really cool. They're open daily from noon to 10. Happy hour runs noon to 4:20, Monday through Friday. It's Jad's Mile High Smoke, just 9 minutes from Coors Field, and open noon to 10, like I just said. You got to be at least 21 or older to consume. No outside product. Just buy it there. Jad's is at 7667 Washington Street. Just GPS to Jad's. This is weird, and I think if you've watched football, and even if you're not a frequent watcher of football, like I remember my wife sitting down, she's like, I don't understand why they don't do this. It'd make it a lot easier. It's weird. Well, what am I talking about? The NFL plans to trial an electronic system for measuring first downs during preseason games this year. If the trial is successful and receives approval, the tracking system will be fully implemented for the 2024 NFL regular season. Now, the traditional sticks and chain method would then serve as a backup. It's 2024. How the hell are they just now doing this? The NFL that prides itself on being a leader and just being such a great entity. They're just now getting around to it. Bizarre. But finally, yeah, my wife would always say that. She's like, why don't they have like a microchip? My son even said that. He's like, they're measuring it with that? There's so much room for operator error on that. So it's about freaking time that the NFL is joining the rest of the world and starting to use more technology. They got cameras everywhere. It's about time that they actually, did they get a first down or not? Blah. Yeah, well, now they can measure it. It will be fascinating to watch this and see how it works. I'm excited about it. It's always frustrating. But that being said, just be ready. This can backfire on your team. It can help your team, but now it could also hurt your team. You don't have human error. You can have just cold, hard facts, assuming it works correctly. So, I mean, there's always been times, whether it's baseball, football, whatever, where the ref will make a mistake or the umpire will make a mistake, and it can benefit you and it can go against you. So if you're subtracting that and it's just straight up facts, you just got to deal with it. Can't complain about it. Then you'll be like, I don't know, man, that thing must be malfunctioning. Like somebody will come up with an excuse no matter what. Hey, you know what we need to do? Let's get into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
This comes in from Wheels0218. He said, I recently bought Walgreens brand paper towels that stated they're double rolls. They were easily half the size of the standard roll of paper towels. I swear to God, I want people prosecuted. He's obviously tongue in cheek about it in regards to yesterday's story where we're talking about the people that were suing Hershey's for false advertising because the artist description of the Reese's peanut butter cups wasn't exactly what it was being advertised at. And that's funny because I don't know how many times I've done that. I'm like, how is this a double roll? It looks like you're saying it does not look the same. It's ridiculous. They listen, most of us aren't going to be measuring. Most people are gonna they're just hoping for those old rolls, those standard rolls to be sold out, and then everybody's gonna be like, oh, it's double roll, I'll get that one. Double ply, I'll get that one. Triple ply, whatever, blah, I'll get that one. Eventually people are gonna forget about that. And then they're just gonna assume it's right. How many times have you seen this? And then companies swear up and down. They're like, no, 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 no. We're not downsizing our food products or whatever products. They do. They do. They just trim it down just enough where they can get away with it. I know somebody also wrote in. They're like, God, I can't remember who that was. I apologize because it was really funny. Who was? Oh, it was not Adam Carolla, but it was so funny. He has a GIF of somebody throwing a thing of those bounce dryer sheets on the ground, and it just sticks to the ground essentially. It says false advertising because it doesn't bounce. I think there's so many that one's obviously joking, but I think there's a lot of times where you could do that. You could sit there and complain, but ultimately, I don't care enough. Going back to the Hershey's thing, I just don't care enough. All I'm doing when I buy the Reese's peanut butter cups is I'm gonna hammer some Reese's peanut butter cups. I don't care what it looks like. I'm shoving it in my mouth and enjoying the flavor. You know what I'm talking about, you sinner. College, right? No, but it's I don't buy food necessarily for the artistic design. It is something that does heighten the experience, but it doesn't ruin the experience unless it's like smashed. If it's smashed and just looks really unappealing, then okay, I guess you could complain. But I mean, I go to a burger joint, like going to Sugar Fire. I go in there, the food's amazing. The cherry on top is that they present everything to you like you're on some cooking show. You're like, wow, this is like you get a burger. I mean, it looks nice. That's because they're chef driven. They're all about, making things look good as well as taste good. So I can appreciate that. If they served it to me and it was all smashed and broken, I guess I would be upset, but they don't do that anyway. But the still going back to the Hershey's thing, like if they it's like they attempted to make it look artistic, but maybe it just didn't the final execution just wasn't there. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. It's all intact. It's good. It's not spectacular, but I'm still going to hammer the hell out of it. Sack Swinger just posted a hilarious video, or not video, picture. I'm going to retweet this now. It's a guy hauling a giant hog, like a pig, in a tiny trailer, and the hog has these gigantic watermelon-sized testicles just hanging off the back over the tailgate. And then below that picture is Miss Piggy with her eyes wide open. Oh my! Miss Piggy, look at me! Not that giant testicles on that pig. Fuck you, Kermie! I need some hog. Can I do? I'm trying to think of the other characters on what is that? The Muppets. Hey, Kermit! Kermit! What's going on? Almost Fozzie, Waka Waka. Kind of him. Animal! Animal! What are the other ones? I can't think of any. I kind of miss the days when my kids were super little and we'd watch Sesame Street because you'd have like the count 1, 2, 3. Ah, ah, 3 testicles. That guy's special. Stuff like that. They never said that. They should have. They should have. You want your ratings to go from mediocre to through the roof? Start talking about people with 3 testicles. Okay? I'm just saying, Sesame Street, I'm an idea guy. Okay? Gotcha. Got your back. I used to love watching watching the kids shows with them. Some they're all good. I just like the ones that where they would learn something. Like there was a one called Super Y. That's like it really what got the kids interested more into reading was watching shows like Super Y. They're kind of lame when they're older, but it worked. They're like, let's go on a mystery hunt. Ooh, do you see that? And it would be like some random letter, and then they'd be kind of like Hangman, where they're sorting the letters, and they're like, "What does that spell?" Fuck you, Grandma. That's what it says. Fuck you, Grandma. Read me the damn story. Oh, super why? I don't know the words. I don't even remember how the song goes. But anyway, that all started from giant hog testicles. Mm. Miss Piggy. Anyway. And we were supposed to go camping this weekend, but I was looking at the temperatures, and for people that don't camp often, it's gonna be too cold and too wet up where we were gonna go at a family cabin. So we're changing the game. I think we're gonna go somewhere else, like the Gaylord or something like that. I don't know. I go there all the time. I don't see any lords that are gay walking around. It's kind of misleading. I got to be honest. I just expect somebody to be like, "Hello, I'm the gay lord. Go fetch me a sandwich, you son of a bitch, and then after let's play pickle tickle." And I would be like, "That's good. He's good. He is in full control. He's definitely a top, not a bottom." What? What? Listen, I'm a friend of the gay community, LGBTQ plus, I think it is. Okay. Hey, nothing against it. You get your rocks off, you get your rocks off, that's fine. I don't care. Boy, somebody got offended. Anyway, I should probably stop. I do. I gotta go. You guys have an amazing day. Really appreciate you. Have don't be a dick today, okay? Listen, if somebody's just being themselves, they're weird. I had lunch with my daughter the other day at school, and some of the kids were teasing another kid because he was weird. I was like, dude, if you're weird, that's okay. We're all weird. And the whole table just stopped. And they're like, you know what? I'm weird too. They're like, "It's good to be weird." I'm like, "Wow, okay." I changed some kids' lives. I did. And then, we all finished our food, and the kid was really weird. I got to be honest, though. I was like, "Ooh, I don't know. There's a level of weirdness, and this kid is way through the roof." Kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, it's okay to be weird. If you're a little goofy today, just embrace it. I don't know what's going on with me. Some I'm off the rails today. It's good. It's probably that damn Hyundai Whore commercial. Hey, thank you guys so much for listening. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Scott, maybe you should just stop talking, okay? Thanks for listening. Make sure you hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening. Don't forget to support my sponsors, Sugar Fire in Westminster, great place to grab some barbecue or get your catering needs done. Also, Jad's Mile High Smoke. Maybe you need to go relax, chill. It's okay. They got you covered. Go to Jad's Mile High Smoke. Also, big thanks to Bet Online. Go to betonline.ag. It's DeHuff Uncensored. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.